This is an official T.T.R.T documentation I hold in my hands at this moment. Well, first, today is 9:49 a.m. It's Wednesday, 9/22/2010. Okay, folks and fellow YouTubers and Internal Affairs Detective Rice, if you're watching. Here's Pima County Attorney Civil Division response to my records request. And my request was for any and all department procedures, general orders, and all other policy associated with the Pima County Sheriff's Department members at the records unit requiring ID from the public for public records requests. The above requested information is also for procedure that shows if it is mandatory or voluntary to have to show ID. Please be advised, this is Sean Hogan, Deputy County Attorney for the Pima County Sheriff's Department. He is the legal advisor. I think if anybody knows, he probably is the one that would know. So, obviously the sheriffs couldn't respond to my records request and they forwarded it to Sean Hogan. Here's what he said. Please be advised that there are no written procedures, orders, or policies requiring identification of individuals requesting public records. There are no written procedures, orders, or policies, he says. Then he goes on to say in the second sentence, even though there's no written procedures, orders, or policies, but he goes on in the second sentence and says, as a matter of policy and procedure, identification is requested. This serves two purposes. One, in order to contact the requester when the records are ready to be picked up. I am sorry. Does anybody have a phone number on the driver's license so when they show ID that the sheriffs can call you back by looking at your driver's license? Because I don't think so. It's a way to get your name and whatever they want to do with it, run it for wants and warrants or whatever. And then number two, for internal record keeping and of requests received and completed. Now here's where it gets very interesting, folks. However, identification is not mandatory and no request will be denied on the basis that the requester chooses not to identify himself or the purpose of his request. Okay, folks, I'm on the website right now, pimasheriff.org/contacts public/record-requests /. And if we look here on the website, there's some false information posted by the Sheriff's Department per Sean Hogan's statement of fact here. And what it says is, when making a records request, the following information is required: the requester's name, address, and telephone number, case number or date, and location of the incident. Alright, folks, what's going on here? Their website says one thing and Sean Hogan says another. Let's call the Sheriff's Department and see what they say down there at the records unit. Here we go. The number we're calling is 315-4650. It's not going. Let's dial it again. Well, that's very interesting. Let's try one more time. You
have reached the records maintenance
4650.
of the Pima County Sheriff's Department. If this is an emergency or you would like to report a crime, hang up and dial 911. For location and hours, press 1. Para español, oprima el número 8. To speak with a records representative, press 2.
There we go.
Records.
Well, good morning. I was a victim in a crime involving a theft, and I was wondering what kind of, do I have to bring any ID down there to obtain public records?
Yes, we do need to see your ID.
Is it required or is it voluntary?
Well, we need to make sure that we're giving the report to the correct party.
So it's mandatory?
Right, yes.
Okay, I'm looking on your website right now, and it also says that it's required to show ID. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, now I'm looking at a records request from Sean Hogeen, the Pima County Legal Advisor. And he indicated in my request that identification is not mandatory and no request will be denied on the basis that the requester chooses not to identify himself for the purpose of his request. So why are you telling me that I got to show ID, and why does your website have false information on it?
I just answered your question, sir, so that we can make sure we're giving the report to the correct party.
That's fine, but you indicated it was mandatory when I asked you, and your website says it's required, and Sean Hogeen says that it's not mandatory, and no record request...
We have to go by what the legal advisor says.
I got a records request answer from your legal advisor, and it says, no request will be denied on the basis that a requester chooses not to identify himself or the purpose of his request.
Yes, we will follow what Sean Hogeen says.
Then why does your website have false information on it?
No, sir, I do not make up the website.
Okay, well, why did you just indicate it was mandatory when it's not?
Because I wasn't sure.
Oh, they got people down there working that's not sure what they're doing, huh? I see. Should I take this up with Internal Affairs since I believe there's false information on the website, or maybe I should talk to Tony Stevens? What do you think I should do about this?
That's totally up to you, sir.
Well, see, you work there. What would be the procedure for getting this problem fixed?
I can't give you any advice regarding that. If you want to take it up with Internal Affairs, that's fine. If you want to speak to my supervisor, that's also fine.
Okay, what's your name?
Juanita.
Anita?
Juanita.
Juanita? Okay, would Tony Stevens be around there, or the other guy, Frank Gonzalez?
Well, Tony Stevens is out of the office right now.
And so the answer to the second part of the question is Frank Gonzalez available?
I can check.
Okay, thank you.
May I ask who's calling?
You sure can.
Okay, well, may I tell him who's calling?
Yeah, it's Mr. Ray.
Ray?
Yes.
Aaron Ray?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
Okay, hold on.
Okay.